Welcome. How's it going? Welcome to another Monday live stream. We're going to be modeling a character by my good friend David Boudreau. Let's do this. Hope you are all doing well today, this fine Monday. It's really nice weather here in Utah. Let's see here. Trying to do my links, my regular links, making sure the chat is rolling. There we go. All right, I don't know why my internet's being so slow today. Come on, internet, you can do it. There we go. And share to a page. Do it. Okay, got it. I'll take a minute. And the chat. All right. Hey, Amy, how's it going? Okay. Sometimes I have to lean way over because my light reflects into my surface of my Cintiq here. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, thanks. Yeah, I found these concepts, and it was from a page of several, and I didn't, I couldn't remember who they belonged to, who did them, and they looked like my friend David's, and they also looked like my friend Guy's, and I'm just like, I reached out to both of them. I'm like, are these yours? But really, really good designs. So I wanted to start with this guy. He's a lot of fun, and he has an interesting cheek silhouette, and I want to see if I can get that and make it work. All right. So let's get rocking, shall we? Okay. Yeah, there is a lot of good designs on that page. A whole bunch. Let's see here. Okay. Just getting that head shape down. To start with, how's everybody doing today? You guys having a good week? Hopefully. Oh, I don't have mirroring on for some reason. I turned it off to center the pivot. That's the reason. I went to pull up my custom menu. If you ever find that happening with you, you can go to Preferences, Config, and click on Restore Custom UI. And that will restore your hotkeys as well. Okay, so let's mirror this. Oh goodness, look at that. What in the world? I don't think I've seen that before. That is wonky. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna roll it back to here and do it again. That was bonkers. Thanks, ZBrush. All right. Now we have mirroring turned on. Let's try this again. Sometimes it's best just to roll back and do it again. And can you guys hear that music? Is it all right? Is it a decent level? Hey, Axel, how's it going? Okay, now I'm gonna do something kind of different with his head. and just kind of bring it on down from here and out. Hey Darren, I do. Yeah, I do stream every Monday at this time. What kind of headphones are these? These are Sennheiser, and I can't remember, like 670s or so. I can't remember the actual model name of them, but yeah, they were actually recommended by an audiophile friend of mine. So I'm not too much of an audiophile myself, but I love them. So YouTube doesn't accept links. So if you want to, I don't know how that works. How does that work, Neil? Okay. This is a really interesting head shape. Let's see. Oh, goodness. My Form 3 came today. So I just bought a Form 3, which is a 3D printer. I have a Form 2 sitting behind me that I've been using quite a bit lately. And most recently I just bought a Form 3 and I really enjoy it. Well, I haven't hooked it up yet, but I enjoy my Form 2. Yeah, and I also got me some really unique resin coming from Formlabs that has little glass particles in it that makes the resin kind of feel like ceramic in a way, or marble. It has a really unique property to it. It's really interesting. It's great to sand. Yeah, you can see some of it right here. Let's see if I can do a full screen on this and show you. Let's see. That last one worked on YouTube. I might not have left a space when I typed it out. Okay. There already is some printing stuff in my workshop. It's in the just down in the bonus section. I talk about it, but yeah, I'm wanting to do more for sure. So let's see if I can do full screen here. Hey, there we go. So it's kind of hard to see with these bright lights, but yeah, this is the lower half of her right here. So this is Kate. This is one of the characters that I cover when I'm doing the course, but her head is here. Here, let me see if I can go to a different camera. Yeah, I do want to paint it. Oh, yeah, 700. Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's see if I can switch over to this webcam. It's not as pretty. Let's see. Come on, webcam. There we are. Hi. There we go. You guys see that? Come on, focus. I gotta cover my face or it'll try and focus on my face. There we go. Come on, focus. There it is. See the detail in that? Isn't that awesome? So, it's kind of strange because it comes out powdered. like it has this, all these bumps are where the supports are. Looks like it has a little bit of a crack right there, but, and you can see the keys, but you can see how detailed this is. And the tip of her gun broke off. I need to glue it back on there. But, and then, I think I showed this last week. This has been primed. This is the same stuff, and this has been primed. And I made this guy on the Pixologic live stream. You can go and watch it back, but yeah, turned out pretty good. Super cool. All right. Back to it. Is that a 4K monochrome on that machine? Which machine are you talking about? Oh yeah, I forgot. Let me see if I can try one thing. Hold on a second. Let's see, display capture, window capture. I'm gonna see if I can fix this. Cursor fix. Okay, bear with me for just a second, please. Window. Brush. Okay. Let's try this and see. Oh, that fixed it. Okay, sweet. Let me put it behind here. Okay. If I shrink it, it's gonna like, okay, here, let me just, sorry, it's an OBS bug, and I use OBS to stream with, but let me shrink my ZBrush down a little bit. Okay, where you go, ZBrush, get back here. What is going on with this thing? Okay, come on. Sorry. Thanks for your patience. And I'll get this fixed. So if I go like this, what does it do? There we go. Okay, there. All right, now we're good. 3D printer, I noticed there's a 2K and a 4K monochrome option. Oh, this, I don't have a Mars Saturn. This is a Formlabs. So Formlabs measures by the depth. I'm not sure exactly because it's a laser, it's not a photo. It's not photo. So I think they're different technologies. Okay, let's see. Let me get this nose in here. Hey, that did fix the cursor issue. But what's weird is I can only pick streaming ZBrush, so that's weird. But whatever works, right? Okay. Get a nose in there. Are those 3D prints strong enough to withstand shipping? Yes and no. Jake just shipped me a whole bunch of stuff, and I only had like 3 things break, and they're really small breaks that I can just glue back together. One of the breaks is not small, and I have to print out a new piece for that one because I can't find the piece that broke off, honestly. Otherwise, I would try and glue it back together. Looks like a Muppet or something. No, it's not. We were making fun of it because it looks like I put my resume on my cursor, which is pretty funny. But no, it's a bug with OBS, and it attaches some text. I don't even know where the text is from or what it is, but it attaches some weird text to the cursor. Yeah, David Boudreau does make Muppets. He makes great Muppets. Holy cow. Yeah, if you want to go check out David Boudreau's work, I think he works on Family Guy right now. He's a artist on Family Guy with Fox. And he does some fantastic caricature work. Man of many talents. I should say many skills. Not a fan of the word talent. From Sri Lanka. Oh, you just barely started? Awesome. You can do it. Best thing to do is get started. Can you do a video of a muscular guy? I don't really take requests. But it's funny you say muscular guy because I just barely finished some training for my students in the 3D character workshop. I did a stylized anatomy training. And it's 3.5 hours worth of brand new training. And I just uploaded it to my students yesterday. And it was live. It was fun. A lot of fun. Let's see. I can show you the first slide from it. Let me see. Hold on a second. I know that's cruel. Video. Yeah, check this out. This is the first slide from the challenge. So I talk about all the anatomy on this guy. So if you want to join the course, now's a great time. You're working on it at the moment? Awesome, Shane. Very cool. Hey, CG, how you doing? Oh, thanks, Adelia. I appreciate it. Do you like that format, by the way? So I'm doing kind of a, when I first recorded my course, I had a scripted version and I just kind of read it as I went through it. And now it's been 4 years later and I'm doing it kind of in I do it as live to begin with. So students can watch and ask questions and then I upload that to the course. And that becomes the new content. So I'm just wondering if you guys enjoy that that way of teaching, learning. Hey, you're welcome, Neil. Okay. You can get a lot done with the Move brush and Dam Standard brush. Yep, the Move brush is my most used brush, honestly, by far. That's so that being said, I know you enjoy watching it live, but do you think you would enjoy watching it, the replay of it back if you missed it? Or have any of you watched the replay and been okay? Any tips for sculpting cheek area forms. My best advice is to look at what lies underneath, which is the skull, and kind of imagine what the skull looks like underneath and follow the form that would take. Yeah, Adelia, I think I will. I think I'm going to do another Q&A, because that also gives me 2 weeks to prepare the next one. But that just means that these weekly challenges are going to be every 2 weeks. You know, I guess they're going to be bi-weekly challenges. And that's okay, as long as I get the content done. Okay. See, what am I doing here? I can kick this back a little bit more. Hey there. Welcome to the stream. Okay. I think I want to shrink this in. I think I might stick a neck in there. I don't know. Let's just see what happens if I do that. Just because I'm missing some of the changes. You stream elsewhere as well? I don't. I only stream here live for the public on the Pixologic live stream at the moment. I may stream on my own channel in the future, but currently I only stream on the Pixologic channel. I do stream for my students privately. I do Q&A sessions for my students and live training. So if you're interested in joining us in the course, you can check out 3dcharacterworkshop.com and see what that's about. Join us. Have I ever tried an XP Pen artist display? I've not. I've only tried Wacom. Okay. Noah, like, what do you mean? Do I need more people to help with my class? Like, to help teach, to help... What are you talking about? That's better. Is there a quick way to straighten the tube mesh? I'm having difficulty of mine. It's getting in the way when I'm using Move Brush too much. Is there a way to straighten it back? The tube brush? After you've got it into place and you've sculpted it somewhere, there's not really a way to stretch it back out straight, because it's a destructive workflow, meaning once you've committed the curve, then the curve is gone and you can't go back in and straighten it back out. So it's almost quicker to rebuild it, redo the curve. Oh, to mentor? I don't know. I'm reaching out to a few people. So maybe Noah Have I talked to you about it before? I'm trying to rack my brain thinking about that. I apologize if I can't remember. I don't have any other mentors at the moment. I've been talking to specific people, but I don't have that going yet. But if you are interested, feel free to send me an email to shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. I'll check out your portfolio and stuff. And do I always separate the forms into subtools as much as you do right now, or is it? Yeah, I always do. These days, I always do. Yeah. It's just the way I do things. Are quad spheres better to sculpt with than poly spheres? Yeah, this is essentially just a subdivided cube. That's what these spheres are. So whatever that is, and I don't really pay attention to the poles too much because I'm gonna I rebuild the mesh over and over several times before I land on the final thing. So don't worry about it too much. Okay. Oh, you did it for Ryan Kingsland? That's cool. Noah, that's awesome. Oh, let's get these. Why is that? The nose is in the same poly group as the body. If you ever have that happen, you can do it one of two ways. You can either just mask one of the poly groups out and just hit Control W and it will assign a new poly group to that piece. Save this as okay. What's an underrated feature in ZBrush that you use that not many people utilize? You know, remesh by union. Not a lot of people use that yet. I see some people doing it more and more, using it more and more. But when I first kind of accidentally discovered it for the purpose that I use it, not a lot of people were using it. But it's a beautiful thing. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. CG Utopia. Yeah, there's just, from a business point of view, there's no money in teaching rigging, unfortunately. And also, another unfortunate thing as far as teaching rigging is, it seems like almost every studio rigs their characters differently. So that's another reason it just doesn't, one, it's not lucrative, and the second is it's too unique per studio. Hey, what's up, Jerome? I mean, yeah, speaking of drum, yeah, some people or some studios even use proprietary software. I mean, the basics are the same. Like, you know, you're gonna put bones in the character to make a skeleton and bind the mesh to that skeleton. But as far as like the technical part of it, you know, it's completely different from studio to studio. So a lot of times you kind of have to learn rigging on the job. And sometimes it's character artists that become that rig the characters, and they're called technical or TDs, technical artists. And yeah, or I'm trying to remember where I learned it from. Yeah, there is a lot of demand for TDs for sure. Because it's not the funnest job on the planet. And you have to kind of be somewhat of a programmer, and somewhat of an artist. You kind of live in between worlds. And you also have to be somewhat of an animator, to be honest. Because you need to test the rig to make sure it's going to do the things that the animator needs it to do. And that's an art all unto itself. These ears are really cool. They're like huge earlobes and really small upper ear. I haven't seen that much. So Jerome, I was wondering if you caught yesterday's live training. I was curious to what you thought about it. But if not, that's totally fine. But I would love you to check it out and let me know what you think. You do everything with a foot switch. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Out at sea. Yeah, you were. That's awesome, man. Were you fishing? We should do... Well, I'll have to talk to you about it later. But that sounds awesome. Jealous. Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Oh, Kirkland, I'm sorry. I don't know if it will show me. Let me see. So what we're listening to is on Spotify. It's called Stream Beats Synthwave by Harris Heller. So this is one of his Stream Beat lists that are copyright free. So you can stream them and you won't get copyright hit either on YouTube or on Twitch. So I don't know what the last, I don't see a history of it. So, but there's lots of songs in this playlist. You can go check them out and find them that way if you want. Yeah, it's pretty good copyright-free tunes. Okay. Okay, I want to give him a mouth and start to break down this stuff. I'm going to actually split his shirt off. Okay. Yeah, they're good. They're really, I really like synthwave. I was an 80s new waver, whatever that is. And, you know, the synthwave is very similar to those songs. They're not quite as complex and, you know, not quite as good as the songs from the the 80s and stuff, but I still really enjoy it. It's just kind of especially with no vocals, it makes a really great backtrack, you know. Dukes, I hope you're well. I was wondering if there were any scheduled updates to the course in the future. In real life is crazy at the moment. I'm hoping I can get back into art soon. Yeah, I've been updating every single week and adding new stuff. So I don't know if there's anything you're looking for in particular, but 2 weeks ago I just started the Saturday morning cartoon blockout challenge, and it's supposed to last a week for the students. But those students can take as long as they want. A week is just an internal deadline that they can set for themselves. And then I just barely did a stylized anatomy blockout challenge for the students as well. And both of those sets of training, I did live training before I kicked off each challenge. And the first one was 3 hours, and this one was almost 3 hours. So that's 6 hours of new training. Plus I did a Q&A for those for the Saturday morning cartoon blockout challenges. And I'm going to do another one this Friday or Sunday, maybe Sunday. And Kato, I know. Okay, that being said, I'm glad you brought that up because so these weekly challenges, this is the new training for the 3D Character Workshop 2.0. And as soon as I get them done and locked down and set is right, you know, edited how I want them, I'm going to be sending off and getting them subtitled. So for people who are deaf like yourself, and for people who where English is their second language, and so then they can hopefully translate the subtitles. Yeah, I do that through a private webinar. Okay. Now his head is still. I want to push this and make it super narrow. I love how small his cranium is. What do you do when you hit a wall and you don't know how to approach your model to continue it? Well, usually I try and get feedback from someone, even if they're an artist or not. It helps if they are, so they can give you better feedback, but try and get some feedback, even if it's from like your sister or your mom or something like that, you know, because they'll kind of say, oh, this kind of looks off. Especially if you show them the concept in your model, they can possibly not give you an answer, but they can point out the problems, you know. So sometimes it's just, so the answer is to get feedback. Or another way to do it is to leave it for a while, go take a walk or something, or even the next day, come back to it and give it a new set of fresh eyes. You're the 9,870th follower on ArtStation. Are you serious? I have that many followers? Holy cow. I never look at that stuff. I don't. That's awesome. Close to 10,000. That's really cool. I need to update my portfolio on there. I have so many more characters to put up there that I haven't yet. Oh, I fail. Failing. Okay. Let's get this guy going. I always get caught up in chatting, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got a sculpt here. Yeah, Biscuit, do it. By 80s new wave, do you mean the people that frosted their tips and went to raves and warehouses? Raves and warehouses they came later. I'm older than that. So frosted tip hairs, yes. The big blonde bangs I had before I lost all my hair. I had long blonde bangs. Yeah. Okay. So when I say like, and please don't hate me for my song choices, but when I say, yeah, Flock of Seagulls, when I say 80s new wave, I mean like like The Cure, The Cult, Thompson Twins, Duran, all those girly new waver bands. And I also liked, don't get me wrong, I also liked 80s rock like Van Halen and you know, that kind of stuff too. But Howard Jones, yeah, all good stuff. I need to kick this back. Hey, what's up, Guz? How you doing, man? Dude, I still need to get you that model. I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. Oh, this is a cool song. It sounds like Stranger Things. Love Stranger Things, by the way. Love the... There we go. I just want to kick his neck backwards. I really want to get that slant going down his back. I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you very much. Well, thanks, Guz. So if you guys don't know who Guz is an amazing 3D character modeler, and I would say a renderer extraordinaire. Yeah, the way you render your characters and do the hair on your characters, I love, love, love. That's why I was saying we need to share some techniques. And Jerome, if you're still here, let me know if you want me to call you out a little bit. I wouldn't mind letting people know who you are. Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry it's taking me so long. A question, how to deal with the imposter syndrome? Well, Jerome, I just didn't want to embarrass you or anything like that. So, so you guys, if you don't know who Jerome is, this is the first time so Jerome is a traditional clay sculptor for Pixar. Like, he's the clay sculptor for Pixar. Like sorry, Jerome, I'm turning red because it's like, yeah, Jerome was the person I look up to when I almost feel like he's part of the reason I'm doing this. So, if you see maquettes for Pixar films, most likely they're done by Jerome. Like, you see all those little, and I think you have, don't you have a video when you're sculpting, Lightning McQueen. Yeah, you did a fun little video, Lightning McQueen. And yeah. And I've just gotten to know Jerome lately, and I've only known him from looking at his work until not too many months ago. And yeah, super cool guy. So thanks for hanging out in my stream, Jerome. I really appreciate it. Hey Ryan, how you doing? Yep, one of these days, Jerome, I want to come up and visit you for real. I've only been to Pixar twice. I'd love to go again. Knowing more people and seeing your work in person would blow my mind. So Jerome, where's the best place to see your work? Do you have much of it online? I've only seen it in like behind the scenes videos and stuff like that. Well, thanks so much, Jerome. I'm humbled. I'm absolutely humbled. Okay. Now I want to pull, I haven't put the mouth in yet, and so I'm tempted not to like pull the cheek clear out like this yet until I get the mouth cavity in there. Oh, art of books. Okay. I was just gonna point people in a digital direction to go see your work, right? But okay, let's merge these together. I'm gonna leave his ear separate though. I've been doing that lately, and kind of enjoying not having his ear welded, character's ear welded. Let's see, split. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Come on, what am I doing? Split hidden. Where's my brain today? So Jerome, while you're here, I just want to ask, what was your favorite character to sculpt for Pixar? Oh, hey John, how you doing? Why resist pulling the cheeks out before adding a mouth cavity? Because I'm feeling like the mouth cavity and him having that smile is kind of affecting all the volume around the outsides of that. So I want to make the mouth cavity in a neutral pose and then pull it out into that expression, and therefore creating the cheek things that he has. Maybe you can help. How can I turn off and on spotlight wheel and 3D paint if I've binded the Z key to something else? Ooh, I don't know. Where does spotlight live? I don't think I have an answer to that. The one you're working on now? Oh, that's no fair. That's always your favorite one, right? The one you're working on now. That's great. People ask me that all the time, and I honestly have no answer other than that same answer. It's like, yeah, the one I'm working on right now. And it's usually true, you know, the one I'm working on. Okay. Hold on a second. Let's see. Hey Tom, how you doing? Hey, does that make sense, John? Why I did that? Oh, Neil, in the texture. Is it in the texture palette? I didn't know where it was. Let's see. Texture right here. Is it this? There it is. Okay. And so what does... So what about the ring, though? He was asking about this ring. Where does the ring live? So you can turn this off and on right here, but where does the ring live? Okay, I'm taking too long here. It's almost been an hour. I'm doing a slow burn on this block out. Okay. So let's apply the dynamic subdivisions. Delete them. Now we have this. And I'm gonna go ahead and stitch it. Why not? Okay, let's show this. So this is the remesh by union that I was talking about. You have to put the gizmo into the center of the scene. Looking at the model, I thought he looked too narrow, but your approach makes perfect sense. Not separating the shapes. Yeah. So I'm starting out in a kind of a neutral thing, and then I'm going to pull it out. So, but that's a great question. And how you doing, John? Haven't talked to you for a while. Okay, let's see. Okay, remesh by union is underneath the gear. Right there, remesh by union. Okay, and then it'll stitch it together, and it will turn off. It will turn off symmetry. So hit X to turn symmetry back on, and then the little gear. Sometimes it's hidden and you can't see it, but it's in there. Click it, and then hit accept. And now all of my pieces are stitched together. You can see that. See all these little triangles around the edges. And now what I can do is turn on Sculptris Pro, which is here. I'm holding the shift button to, because I have to have a brush selected that actually works with Sculptris Pro, and the move brush does not work. So that's why it's grayed out. So I have to click like inflate or something to make it appear. And then I go up to the stroke menu, go to Sculptris Pro and turn off adaptive size. And then I'll go test it. That's too big. So I'll bring it on down right here and test it again. There we go. Now I can just kind of smooth those seams out. And I'm showing the surface so you can actually see what's going on underneath the surface. And I like to kind of just fill everything in with about this size squares. It's kind of like filling a canvas with gesso. Please tell me if ZRemesher is suitable for retopo and creating a 3D character using it in animation. No, not for deformation in animation. It's not quite there yet. It's meant for creating a very nice sculpting mesh, but not an animation mesh. Unfortunately, you still have to do it by hand. Okay. So go to texture, Control Alt left mouse button, the on and off button for spotlight, and type the key you want to bind it. Okay, got it? Sweet. Very cool. Thanks, community. Okay, so now his mouth is very, very close to his nose. So I'm gonna mask off kind of where it's at. In somewhat of a smile, not too much. In fact, sometimes I just like to have a rounded mouth most of the time. I don't like to have that pinch until later on. Okay. So now what I like to do sometimes is do a edge loop mask border, and what that will do is put an edge loop around the masked area. You can kind of see how clean it is right there. It will leave the mask on. I can clear that, but it also puts it in a new poly group. And you can see it's a little warbly. So what you can do to clean that up is go into this menu. This is my custom menu, by the way. If you want it, you can go get it from 3dcharacterworkshop.com. It comes with the user interface. And you can grab this polish by features and roll it up, and it will kind of smooth those lumpies out. You don't have to have it perfect, not even close. So, and this is not symmetrical, so I'm going to do a mirror and weld to make it symmetrical. And then I'm just going to use the Z modeler and extrude this mouth cavity in. Whoops, I need to do extrude polygroup all. Then I can grab one of these faces and just push it in a couple times. Okay. Now, and it doesn't matter if it gets all chunky and messy, because then you can just go back in with Sculptris Pro turned on, like holding down Shift and just kind of rebuilding the surface of the geometry. That's what's so beautiful about ZBrush and Sculptris Pro, dynamic topology. and this is why the shape didn't really matter because I was going to destroy it anyway. But now we have a mouth. And now we can just start working with it. You can always turn the poly groups off if it's distracting. I'm gonna turn my smoothing up just to smooth all this out a little bit more. I just wanted enough of a cavity in there that I could close his mouth. I'm not making a fully animatable cavity, but since his mouth is open like this, I think I will give him more of a correct cavity. So we can just keep extruding this in. Yeah, that's the problem that happens. Or what I can do is just mask this piece off. And it looks like I have a poly group up here, like a mole or something on his face. Hey, attentive, how you doing? But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mirror it, and then hit mirror and weld again. And now that will get rid of that little mole, whatever that was. Okay, there we go. And now I can just pull this back in to his mouth further. Retopple by hand using Maya or ZBrush. It doesn't matter what you use, honestly. Sometimes I'll use Maya Quad Draw. Sometimes I'll use... the retopo tools inside of ZBrush have gotten a lot better, actually. I haven't tried to retopo a full figure yet, but it's totally capable of doing so. I've seen a couple people do it. The only thing that's missing in with retopping it all inside of ZBrush is I like the geometry to continue to stick to the surface after I've retopologized it, so then I can use a smooth relax across the surface, and that's the only thing that's really missing in retopologizing with ZBrush at the moment. It's, as far as I know, you can't do that. Hey Sneer, oh, from Israel, it's quiet here. I heard that. That's great. Hopefully it stays that way, right? Hopefully things stay quiet. Okay. Just gonna start inflating his lower lip. This is a cool sounding song. What about Z-spheres for retopology? It's a bit slow. So I like to use it for specific things, but not to retopologize an entire character. Do you change the settings in Sculptris? The only setting that I change is I turn off adaptive size. So right here, adaptive size, I just turn that off. And what that does is, by default, the size of the triangles that Sculptris gives you is tied to the size of your brush. And I don't want that. Instead, I want the triangles to be consistent across the board. So whatever number I set this to, the triangles are going to stay that size no matter what, no matter how big my brush is. And I love that. Okay. So now that I have his mouth cavity, what I was going to do is, see, I still have these poly groups. What I can do is I can hide the poly groups that aren't the mouth interior, like this, and then turn on double so I can see the inside of his mouth like this. And then I can mask off the lips, the front. So I don't really want to mess with that too much. Okay, but I do want to make this mouth cavity a little larger, and I use inflate, but I use the alt inflate. So if I hold down alt, otherwise if I just try to use inflate, it actually does the opposite and destroys it. So I want to hold down alt because it's the interior of the mouth and the normals are flipped, if you guys know what those are. So I have to use the alt version And then I can work on the inside of the mouth without trying to like turn my camera to peer inside of his mouth. That's kind of hard to do. So I'd rather just do this. There we go. Now he's got a much larger mouth cavity that works better with his mouth slightly open. I just ordered a Cintiq 24 for use with Photoshop, Illustrator, and ZBrush. Yay! Congrats, Frank. That'll speed up your process. Greetings from Dusseldorf. Hello, Marco. Okay, that's interesting. See how it made holes here in the lips? There's a few holes missing. And what you can do, again, just do mirror and weld. Should fix that up. Yep. Or you can do a close holes as well. This close holes button in this menu. And then that will also close any holes that it's made. Sometimes Sculptris will accidentally make some holes in your surface. That's an easy way to fix it. Okay, now we can start working on the mouth. Do I use Dynamesh? I only use Dynamesh these days for 3D printing. I used to use it often. Could you please tell, should I use perspective working with references? What's the best way to fit? So I will turn on perspective occasionally to check my proportions, but I don't work with perspective on because a lot of functionality in ZBrush works better with perspective turned off. But in other software, I'll work in perspective. Just gonna build up this muscle coming off of the nose here. Stubborn Funky Donkey. Best name ever. Hello, welcome to the stream. Let's give him some eyes. What functions don't perform well with perspective turned on? Anytime you're trying to do something where it shoots all the way through the mesh, like clip brush, like move infinity, stuff like that. It's because orthographic is absolutely straight when you're looking through it like a slicer. It looks through it straight, and if it's in perspective, it's slightly skewed, so it doesn't work as well. Okay, I'm just going to split those. Looming to get a 3D printer. Any recommendations? Well, it depends on your budget. If you have some money to work with, I recommend getting a form printer, just because they're so good. And then if you have a lower budget, I would recommend something like a Mars or a Photon, something in that neighborhood, which essentially is like a small form printer. An update on your painted 3D prints? No, I just printed out Yoda not too long ago. He's all primed and ready for paint. I've ordered some paint and it's coming, and then I want to paint him, and I want to do some varnish on him so I can have him matte colored and glossy eyeballs. I want his eyes really glossy, so I'm waiting for that to come. Is what for a movie? This character? No, this is just for fun. Okay. What is the main purpose of a 3D printer for sculptors? There's several. It depends on if you're in production or if it's just a hobby. If it's for production, like I used to work for Disney for about 10 years, and we worked on Disney Infinity, and when we worked on that, we had a 3D printer to print out prototypes of the characters before they went to manufacturing. So that was the main purpose of having a 3D printer in the office. But having a 3D printer personally, it's essentially just for a hobby, for collectibles. Like all these back here on my shelf, most of these are 3D printed. And I just love to hold my work in my hands so it's not digital, right? Yeah, D&D minis, RPG game minis. There's a lot of uses. Or if you're into like model trains, you can make essentially all of your terrain now with 3D printing. What's the biggest thing you've printed? Well, not me personally, but probably Jake printed my cowboy out pretty large on the form printer. You want me to show you that? It's pretty huge. Let's see. Let's see, full cam. There we go. Hi. Okay, so look how big this guy is. And he's missing some of the primer on his face. That's the color of the resin underneath there. He just happened to have some maroon colored resin. And he's got pieces and parts, and here's his base. But this is the biggest 3D printed thing that I have. So this is huge. And then this one's also quite large. This is another Kate that he printed out of a different material, and that turned out pretty huge. Somebody's asking what paints. I use this primer. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, at some Hobby Lobbies, or you can order it from Amazon if it's not out of stock. It's called Mr. Finisher. The number down here, that's just kind of, I use 1500 or 1000, and this is super, super fine mist primer, and it works really, really well. And then I just use same thing from Hobby Lobby, these things called Vallejo paints. They say model color on them. They're just an acrylic paint. You can airbrush them, you can paint them, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, that's what I recommend are those paints. You can get those on Amazon as well. Okay. You want to see that big print and pictures of your frosted tips? So, I have one picture of me from the 80s. Do you guys want to see it? You guys are throwing me off track, but hold on a second. See how fast I can pull it up. All right, you guys ready? Embarrassing. This is me before, well, when I still had hair. And look at that background. This is like, I was like swimming in the 80s. But I was a big snowboarder. I was one of the early adopters, snowboarders. That's my board. But this is like 1987, I want to say. Oh goodness. Good times, good times. Now I have zero hair. Oh, you can't see it because it's sharing the screen. Dang it. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, hold on. Let me try one more time. You guys are gonna laugh. I closed the window. Okay. So let me hide the window fix. Can you see it now? Yeah, you can see it now. There you go. That's me when I, like I said, 1987-ish. Snowboard. Blonde hair. I had dark. Yeah, crazy, right? Oh, goodness. Here, one more. Where did that go? Here's me on my motorcycle back in the day as well. And one more. This is like an old Halloween costume where I was the Terminator. That's kind of the best cosplay that I've ever done. This eye actually lit up and stuff. It's pretty cool. Sarah Connor. Yeah, and I was in the military. And I painted this sign in Colorado Springs. So, good times. All right. How do you imitate proportions from the 2D concept? If I knew how to say that exactly, I think everybody could be an artist really easily. But it's I hate to say it, but it's years of practice. Learning how to imitate a 2D concept in 3D. That's the whole job in a nutshell right there. That's what you're trying to do. I've been a stud my whole life. Tell that to my wife. I'm teasing. Let's give him some brows. He's very browless. And this also is telling me that his forehead is way too shallow. Yep, Steven, I was a CB. I was a CB from 1990 to 96. CB stands for Construction Battalion, but it's also like CB, like out to sea, and the Bumblebee. That's their mascot. All right. Where am I from? I'm from Utah, and I still live in Utah. You were born in 96. Man, I'm old. Do I know some good 3D software for animation? Maya is what I always animated in. I did some animation in XSI, which is Softimage back in the day, but that's, you know, Autodesk bought it and killed it. I've done some animation in 3D Studio Max, which is also owned by Autodesk. Autodesk bought the world. How long was I in the military? Six years. Four years active. Well, active reservist, I guess. All these personal questions. 20 years. Okay, I gotta fix this silhouette. Pixar use ZBrush for sculpting? Yes, I believe so. Some of them do. I'm gonna pull this whole thing forward. It's like they got this total underbite that I didn't even notice. Yeah, they not only let me do that banner, they flew me out to Colorado to do it. finish my lessons on Pluralsight. Oh yeah, thanks. I did those a long time ago. Okay. Jewelry tutorials. I'm not a jeweler. If you want to learn jewelry in ZBrush, you should watch Tomas go tonight. He streams on this channel every Monday evening. How do you soften the selection? I assume you're asking how I soften the mask or blur the mask. You just hold down Control and tap on the surface, and that will blur the mask. There's also a button for it in here. It's just underneath masking. It's called Blur Mask. You can hit that a couple times as well. Yeah, Jin, this is, just so you know, this is Pixologic's live streaming channel. So Pixologic is the owner of ZBrush. So I typically like to keep the conversation to ZBrush. Not that I mind talking about other software too, but I like to focus on just ZBrush if we can. Biscuit, I give it away for free. You can actually just have it. Instead of copy it, you can have it. And you can go get it over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Scroll about halfway down the page and you can have all of my user interface, my brushes, and that custom menu for free. How do you make a glass effect? With a material or with a render when I take it somewhere else to render in a different program. But I usually use this material inside of ZBrush called ZBrush I Reflect. Really had to fix that. Is that cursor back? Oh gosh, sorry. I hid that window. There we go. It's gone now. It's a bug. It's my resume. If you'd like to hire me. No, it's a bug with ZBrush and OBS. It's really strange. Yeah, when I showed that my pictures, I had to hide the fix window. How do you rig the stylized? Yeah, that's kind of too big of a question to answer in my live stream. But I mean, the short answer is you just rig it like any other neck, but. You have a big question? I don't know. It depends on what the question is. You can ask it, sure. Okay, I need to turn. Let's see here. I need to make this a little more dense. How do you hide seams? Like texture seams in a game? Yeah, that's probably not a question for the live stream, sorry. That's a bigger question than what I can answer here. is it common to add muscles to a stylized character? Only if the concept calls for it. Like if you're modeling a stylized superhero and you can see all the muscles, then yes. But if you're modeling like a Saturday morning cartoon character, then no. Should I know the animation rules to make good topology? Yes. Are Zia and ZBrush and Maya much different? Yes, very. So ZBrush is a digital sculpting program and Maya is an animation program. Animation and traditional modeling. Maya really doesn't do digital sculpting. Jin, for the most part, yes. You think ZBrush will add muscle feature? I don't know what you mean. There's no muscle feature. You just sculpt the muscle. You block it out just like you would block out everything else. You would sculpt it. Think about it as like real clay, right? And if your character has muscles with real clay, then you just make the muscles. That being said, it's funny because Maya does have a muscle feature. And I actually have a story about that. Karn say, please don't start a software debate in this. This is Pixologic's streaming channel. Pixologic, the makers of ZBrush. So I'd like to keep the conversation to ZBrush, if you wouldn't mind. There's several forums and chat places you can have software debates. Ziva Dynamics, yeah, this is a digital sculpting software, so you're not going to get dynamics in here other than the cloth dynamics that it has. But those cloth dynamics are just meant to, you know, help you do cloth. Will the stream turn into a video after I finish? Yes. It will be on Pixologic's YouTube channel. And I have a whole bunch of other ones from the past that are archived there, if you're interested. Hey, I'm good. The cartoon challenge is open only to students, unfortunately. Hold on, I can't keep up with chat. All right, Biscuit, take care, man. First time here, well, welcome. Yeah, we only almost have 300 people watching. That's crazy. Between YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. What is the future of sculpting? You know, my honest opinion, I want to say VR. Because, you know, I've sculpted in VR with some various programs. And it was a lot of fun, but it's not quite to the level that ZBrush is as far as tools and, you know, sculpting. But it was really cool being in the same room as your sculpt and being able to zoom in really, really close to it and then zoom out really far away. but you standing right next to it to be able to see and feel what it just feels like. I mean, I guess it's kind of like real clay in that way, where you have like I just equate it to those large bronze sculptures that people do. But being able to shrink it down to the size of, you know, really small and look at it like that, or scale it way up like it's a huge bronze sculpture or something. Hey Steven, how you doing? Do I hold the Pixologic streaming viewership record? I think I don't know. I'll have to ask. I know I have the most streams on their channel, but I don't know if I have the... I think it's tied between myself and Ashley, which Ashley usually shows up on my stream. I'm surprised she hasn't shown up yet. It depends on what she's up to. And if you don't know who Ashley is, she's another streamer on here. Super duper good, and she streams on, I think it's Wednesdays. I'm gonna give this guy some teeth. Maybe a tongue in there. Yeah, I need to say snake hook a couple more times for her to show up. How much can you earn as a stylized character? If it's freelance on one character, that's too difficult of a question to ask. It completely depends on what the character will be used for, honestly, and how detailed the character is. And yeah, he did. He got a job at Funko. Yeah, super good for him. I did an interview with him about that recently that I need to get posted up. Yeah, Ashley's like Beetlejuice. If you say snake hook 3 times, she usually shows up. That's been an ongoing joke for quite a while now. Okay, I was going to give this guy some teeth, right? Sculptris Pro. I am using Sculptris Pro. I don't use snake hook as much as I should. Let's see here. Who is David Bedreau? He is the concept artist that drew this concept. He's an amazing artist. Works for Fox Animation, I believe. He's an animator, caricature artist. I get a job at Pixar. Be really, really good at what you do. And show them that you can do the work that they need you to do. All right, I'm gonna switch materials just so I can see what's going on here. Yeah, right? It's really good stuff. Harris Heller is a big video gamer and influenced by video game music. If you want to know where this music's from, is Harris Heller on Spotify. He's a Twitch streamer, gamer, YouTube personality guy. I mean, he's from Utah too. Pixar software, not it. You can get RenderMan, but not their animation software. It's proprietary. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do some experimenting with this crazy jowl thing happening right here. And whenever I do some experimenting, and I advise you do this as well, is just duplicate your subtool. Like so, just duplicate it and hide the original so you can always go back. And now you have kind of a safety net. Then I also recommend saving it. Oh yeah, Long John Silver from Treasure Pond. I need to watch that again. Good stuff. Okay. How far can I push it without breaking it? Maybe like that. I want to give him some more fat underneath his jaw. He doesn't have that sharp of a jaw, that defined, so I'm just going to fill it with the fill brush. Just why do you need kids? I watch it anyway. Okay. My favorite is the SpongeBob artist episode. What's that one called, Neil? The Art Critic or something like that? So you don't feel... No, you just watch it while you sculpt, man. Then you can do two things at once. I do it all the time. Artist Unknown. Yep, that's it. Artist Unknown. You guys should at least watch that episode. It's pretty dang funny. Yeah, how to draw a circle. Or how he just like taps the marble once. He's like, be the marble. Lick the marble. Oh, I laugh every time. How long does your workshop last? Well, it's lifetime access. So it lasts as long as and that's the lifetime of the course, not like my life or your life, just to be clear. Lifetime access just means for how long I keep it open or make something new and move on, or I don't know. But so far it's been going for almost 4 years now. And I don't plan on getting rid of it. Oh, Tom Kenny, he's the voice of SpongeBob, yeah? Hey, Jerome. Been waiting for what? The ears? Essentially, I just turn them into Sculptris Pro objects, like this. And then just kind of brush over them. I think I talked about before, I was like, it's kind of like filling a canvas with gesso before you're ready to paint. And then I just use the move brush. It's just kind of like, yeah, pushing clay around with your thumb a little bit. And smoothing it out. Notice a lot of these songs use the same synth bass. The same, no. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and continue filling up this the separation between his jaw and his neck. See if we can get it so there's no line there. Yeah, it's like I think it's an arpeggiator or something like that. The thing that makes it just go doo 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 doo. They're fun to play with. I recently got this MIDI controller for my Mac called a theory board, and it's the idea behind it is it works with music theory to select the scales on the left hand, and then on the right hand it adjusts and changes the keys to fit the scale, and it's really fun to play with. It's not your typical keyboard. See, I don't like how this neck is working. So we technically can take every class at our own pace and ask you whenever we get stuck, yes. Or you can ask other students. So there's a thriving community that comes with the course. And there's also a Discord. And so you can ask other students if you get stuck, and there's usually somebody there that answers right away. Oh, you're waiting for the jaw. Got it. Yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm doing my best, Jerome, to try and figure this out. Because, I mean, you can see this line cutting all the way down to, you know, the center of his neck down here. And I'm trying to get that without making his neck too super huge. So I can give you a preview of the forum. I have it open right here. So you can see some of the student work up here. I have a top row, kind of like ZBrush Central. And then we're working on stylized anatomy and Saturday morning cartoons. And here's a finished character. yeah, you can see a lot of the student work right here. It's really, really top notch. So. Oh, you can't see it again. Gosh dang it. Thanks, Neil. So it's right here. All right, can you guys see that? There you go. So it has this awesome top row. Characters. And then, yeah, stylized anatomy like this one. Finished characters like this one. Cartoon blockouts like this cow. It's awesome. I love this cow. Hold on. It's being slow. Yeah, check this out. Really cool stuff. Hey, Pedro. All right. Yeah, sometimes 2D doesn't always work in 3D, or sometimes you just kind of take it as far as you can, and then after that you just make it feel like that character as much as possible. Okay, and I want to shrink his cranium down even more. Square it off in the back. Yeah, I love these ears. They're really cool. Giant earlobes. Look at your earlobes, they're huge. All right, let's get some eyebrows on this guy and push him further. All right. Thanks, weird brain. What did you mean by the jaw drum? Is it in the anatomy? Oh, he was just waiting to see how I solved it, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jerome. Because it feels like every artist solves things differently. You know, that's what makes everyone unique, is how they see and solve and resolve things. His nose looks very boxy. Everything else looks great. Thanks. Yeah, I'm still trying to get there. I mean, I've been at this for 1 hour and 45 minutes now, so not much time. I usually tweak this for hours and hours, but this is just the beginning. Usually eyebrows help. I like these eyebrows too. They kind of kick. Here, let me do this again with a smaller brush. Split mass points. Is this not on? What's going on? Oh, I'm just not thick enough yet. Is that true? What is going on? Oh, this is panel. I'm adjusting the panel loop's thickness, not the. I need dynamic subdiv thickness. That'll help. Okay. Clear the creases. Turn this on. Okay. Would you do the eyebrows in one piece to get that bushiness, or would you break it into a couple of pieces? I'll usually break it into a couple pieces eventually, but for now I'm just blocking this guy out, so just one piece for now. Trying to figure out a way to adapt a clay process to a ZBrush process, and they're not the same. Watching your approach helps. Yeah, for sure. Jerome, I'd like to actually watch you in your process and kind of say, oh, this is how I would do it in ZBrush. You know what I mean? Like how it'd be kind of fun to figure out how to tackle the same problems. Because like these eyebrows, I know you'd slap down some clay and roll it out and then chop it into shape and then lay it on the surface maybe. Yeah, we should do a dual stream. How do you access the floating menu in the working area? Are you talking about this right here? This is a hotkey that I set up that it's for a menu, a custom menu that I made, and I give it away for free over on my 3D Character Workshop website. You can go over there, scroll down about halfway, download it. It comes with my user interface, my brushes, the custom menu, and then you have to set the hotkey to a hotkey that you want to use. I set mine to number 2, and then I also set my back button on my pen to number 2, so I can pull up that menu no matter where I'm at. And I have instructions on how to install everything and how to use it after you download the brushes in the interface. So it doesn't come natively with ZBrush. Okay, let's see. No problem, Sneer. Oh, Pablo has a clay feel? Like a tutorial or something? Wouldn't mind checking that out. So Pablo is also another streamer on here. When you use topology brush to create eyelids, then duplicate to make eyelashes, I've seen you press a hotkey and make that shape into a 2D row of planes. What hotkey are you using? That's just after you draw a bunch of polygons, all you do is hold down Shift and hold on, let me get it right. I gotta make sure I'm telling you right. So after you draw the topology on here, well, let's say I'm gonna do the eyelashes, for example. Let me make this active, if it will. Okay, make it active. I'll just draw some eyelashes on here. I'm gonna turn it to the side like this. Okay, and then I'll draw a row. Well, let's do it how you said. So I'll turn on transparency and select the actual eyeball. Draw it on there for the eyelid. Turn off Sculptris Pro. I don't know why that's on there. Okay, let's do this again. So drawing on the surface, and then drawing on the surface back here on the back of the eyeball. I turn on transparency so I can actually draw through the geometry. Let's do it even closer down here. And continue this line, draw down here. And that will make a polygon. When you're doing this, the only thing that matters are these green points. The lines don't really matter. It just matters where they cross and make those points. So see, when I make these points, it starts to make quads. And like that, and like that. And I can hold down Alt and drag on the surface and it'll clean up all the garbage. So you can see that. And now I can draw one more line all the way through everything. Okay. And then this is the point where you're wondering. What I do is I turn my draw size all the way down to 1, so it will create a single-sided surface. And then I hold Control plus Shift and tap on the surface. And sometimes it doesn't work right away. Come on. Hold on. Gosh dang it. I stream every Monday. It's Alt and tap on the surface. Where did that go? I think Alt cleared it. Did it? No, it made it. Okay, sorry. Holding down Alt and tapping on the surface did it. That's why I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused since you asked me. It's just like muscle memory by now. Cintiq or Huion? It's a complete personal preference. It doesn't matter. The answer is it doesn't matter. Do you know of a way to reset the camera focus? So yeah, just touch the surface anywhere. And then that will make the camera rotate and zoom around that last touched surface. So for example, if I touch the surface right here, then it pivots around that location and zooms around that location. Okay, does that answer your question, by the way? Let's do dynamic. Add some thickness. Now you can see the eyelids coming through. I like this method of making eyelids more than actually hand sculpting them in. I don't know why I hand sculpted them in this time. But usually I'll make them from scratch like this. It stops working, then just touch a new location. And then it'll reset it. It should. Let's see, uncrease all. And this, okay. So, are you using the right click navigation zoom where, are you holding down Control and then right click to zoom? This software is not free. They have a free version of the software that you can go download and play with. It's called ZBrush Core Mini. A lot of the features are left out of it, but it has enough features that you can go practice and play with it and get used to it. And it's on the Pixologic website, or if you do a Google search for ZBrush, you can find it. Thanks, Neil. There you go. Are there any good tutorials? I think you can find a few on YouTube. What's a good way to get started with 3D modeling in general and ZBrush in particular? Just get the software and start sculpting is the quickest, fastest way. I mean, it kind of sounds like a rude way to tell anybody to start something, but it's true, you know? It's like that meme of that artist saying, "Hey, I want to start drawing," and then the guy grabs his hand and sticks a pencil in his hand and says, start doing it, right? So that's the best way. And then the second best way is when you start to get familiar with the tools, then you can start looking for specific tutorials. But familiarize yourself with the software first, you know. And yes, I do teach a 3D, if you're interested, if you're ready to make an investment and learn, if you're serious about it and you want to learn more, I teach an online course called the 3D Character Workshop. And there's also something called the Z Classroom that has a whole bunch of ZBrush tutorials. for people getting started. And if you want to get really technical with ZBrush and learn the technical ins and outs of it, another streamer on here, his name's Michael Pavlovich, has a whole bunch of YouTube videos on the technical aspects of ZBrush that are really good. I teach more of the art side along with light technical stuff. But ZBrush isn't light technical, so it's kind of hard to say that, but I'll try and focus that way. Need to finish his hair. His hair just looks like a dollop on his head. It's like, blit. Okay. I'm going to turn on Sculptris Pro, but not that much. There we go. I usually like to start lower when I'm blocking out larger shapes like that. Great work. Oh, thank you, Ro. Appreciate it. Looks like his ear's too low, which means his cranium is too tall. Well, Trash, unfortunately, this is, well, fortunately, this is the Pixologic's Twitch stream, so I like to keep the talk about ZBrush and not other software. So I hope you understand. I'm gonna pull this down and then move his ear back. Oh, no worries. Some people stumble across this stream not really knowing what it is. But yeah, just explore. Join my army. 3 character workshop army. It's getting to be quite the army now. I think I have almost 1,700 students in there. I would never have dreamt that in a million years. But here we are. So I appreciate it. All the students that are here, thank you so much. Like I always like to say, you're the best part of the 3D character workshop. This is true. All right. Gotta love the this music. Ryan, thank you. Make me blush. Best what? I couldn't tell you, but okay. His eyes are too big. All right. I think we're going to stop here. There's still a lot to do, so I'll probably take this into next Monday's stream and finish him up. But thank you all for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. been a lot of fun. I love this guy's design. So thank you to David Boudreau for allowing me to sculpt this. And thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. Thank you, Neil, for all the links, and thanks, Jerome, for hanging out. Yep, I stream for 2 hours every Monday. So if you want to see the rest of this, you can come back next Monday and I'll finish her up. Finish him up. All right, he's getting there. He's getting there. He's got a little ways to go, but he's getting there. Let's look at him in perspective. Yep, you are all very, very welcome. And all you students that are in here, we'll see you on Sunday. We'll see you Sunday for another Q&A. And then the rest of you, we'll see you back here Monday, hopefully. All right, take care. Have a wonderful week, everybody. And as usual, if you want my brushes, my user interface, you can go get them at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And if you want to learn more about making stylized characters like this one, check out the course that I offer, the online course, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And wish you all a great week. All right, take care. We'll see ya.